Hi ladies, this is like my 5th try in making this video for you. I'm trying to show you the drops design video. I'm going to try not to drop my yarn out of your view or anything that I'm doing. So here goes. Make a slip knot. It doesn't matter how much tail you have. This is not a long tail cast on. Okay? You make a slip knot, you put it on there, that's it. Now, this is how Drops Design shows how to do it. This is if you knit British style and you hold your yarn in your right hand. Put the right hand needle behind the other one. Go over your, what is now the needle on your right, and around like you made a figure 8. Pull through. I think you're supposed to still hold this. Somehow. Again, I'm not good at this. Okay, you just pivot the yarn around like that so that you're catching that yarn in front. That is one pair casted on. I'll do that again. Put your needle, your right needle behind your left needle. Go over, behind, pull through. See that little pull there? Swing it around. Okay, ready? Switch, continental style. Switch my yarn behind the way I usually have it. Set it up in my hand the way I usually do. That's how I do it. I just go like that. I'm like set up for a knit stitch here. So what I want to do is pretty much set up for a purl, but don't pull it tight. I want a little loop down there. I stick my needle in between that loop. I grab the wool. This does the same thing. See that? See, I have the same thing here. Go around. This time I push the yarn and pull it around and put the thing on at the same time. I know that sounds complicated, but it's not. I'll go slowly. So see, go in between. Oh look, it's the same. Okay. Okay. Then I pull that loop tight. That snugs everything up, and I go around, and I go on. That's 4 pairs. That's enough, I think. Okay, so I'm going to start knitting back. Whatever you need to do. Knit, purl, or this works with knit 1, purl 1, or knit 2, purl 2. It probably works with knit 4 or purl 4, but it does not work with odd number. Knit 3, purl 3, knit 1, purl 3, whatever. It doesn't work with any odd numbers, only evens. And it's pretty fast because you go on in pairs. Okay, so I'm going back now. Knit, purl, knit. Oops, I split everything there, right? Knit. There's that slip knot. I told you it doesn't matter because boom, we're going to drop it. Now, let's just say I hadn't knitted on enough. I simply turn my work and see, I turn my work, get this one out of the way. And then I use the tail as the working yarn, and I add on, let's say I need 4 more stitches, another couple of pairs. I use a lot of helper fingers when I cast on. I like things to be firm and nice. Now when I do my regular long tail cast on, oh, I'm going to do that last pair again. No big deal. Drop them off. Loop. Just put the wool over the top. Stick my needle in between there. Grab the yarn, wrap it around my needle in the normal way. Pull it around. Pull it around. Okay, there. Okay, now I got my 4 stitches. Just slip them back. There's no reason for me to hold this yarn and get in your way. Sorry, it's just my way. Constantly like taking stuff out and still holding the yarn, and there's really no reason to do that. It's just my comfort. It's like my hands are permanently put in that position. See, there, I dropped out of your view. I'm so sorry. Okay, turn it, get back ready to knit again. Okay, I'm back to my regular working yarn. There was my last stitch. See that? Knit. Feels like I split something, but it's not. Purl. Don't worry too much about those long legs. You can ease them out. Look at that. You can't tell where I added the stitch. You can't tell. It's the same. And the back. Look at that. It's the same. The same. Okay. Now, I'm just going to knit across a few more rows and get back to you. Hi guys, so I just wanted to show you after a few rows where we are. If I pull it onto the cable of the needle, you can see, I think this is 8 rows. You can see what the cast on looks like. It's pretty nice. I could have pulled it less snug maybe, but honestly it is so stretchy and it goes right back to where it belongs. Anyhow, I'll show you her cast off. Knit the first stitch. This is Tillybuddy's cast off. Knit the first stitch, take it off the needle, and you do that same swing, the same thing where you're going behind the working yarn and letting it come to the front. This is for the purl stitch. And then you want to just purl that stitch together with the next stitch. That was in preparation for the next stitch being purl, in preparation for the next stitch being knit. You just swing it the other way, okay? Then reorient the next stitch, and then we're going to knit both of these through the back loop together through the back loop. That's it. Not too firm. The next stitch is a purl, so I around so that I'm gonna be pushing that yarn to the front where it belongs for the purl, and then purl that stitch together with the next stitch. I don't want to pull them too tight. I probably just did. Okay, next stitch is a knit, so I do it like that. So that I'm not like, you see I went above the working yarn. I didn't do anything with it. Okay. And then I reorient the stitch, knit them together through the back loop. Okay. And to knit the purl, I go, I guess that's clockwise around the needle. And then I go counterclockwise for the knit stitch, reorient. And then I go clockwise for the purl stitch.
I'll be right back.
You can already see that nice, oops, I forgot to reorient that. It doesn't matter, you don't have to reorient it. You can just do slip, slip, or slip, knit through the back loop. We're just trying to make it face the other way. If you do combined knitting, where you scoop your pearls instead of wrapping them, you know, wrap your pearls the other way than you normally wrap your knits, then you're all set up for that. Actually, I have another way of doing this too. You'll see that's my fancy trick. Instead of reorienting the stitch, I have a shortcut. Okay. This is really the place to tighten it, is right there. I haven't been so good at this on that sample. That's really the place, over the needle, so that you get the right setting. Okay. And then I would pull that loop and take those stitches off. There you go. There is my cast off. I mean, there is a back and a front, I guess. I don't see a gigantic difference between them, personally. I think that's the back. And yeah, that's the front. I can tell because my yarn ended up there. I love that wavy, beautiful pattern. I think that's just stunning. And then again, that's my cast on. And I could probably match the tension on the top and the bottom, but you can see there's like, this will stretch until the cows come home, and then some. And it's not flaring out that way or that way. It's not flaring out, especially if I neatened it a little bit more. If I gave it a little bit more tightening in between stitches, it would be fine. Okay, I just wanted to show you quickly. These are two of those drops cast-ons that I did, and one I tightened more than the other. This one I had originally done, and I didn't really tighten the loops as much, and you can see it does not pull the ribbing in at all. It's just right at the ribbing tension. It's perfect. The one that I showed you in the last video, I tightened a little firmer, and it looks pretty, but it does pull in a little, and it's a little less stretchy. So again, that shows you how you can adjust it.